mental feeling, Vedana, context, craving, tanha. Craving, tanha, conditions, clinging, upadana. Clinging, upadana, condition, life existence, bhava. Life existence, condition, birth, jati. Birth, conditions, aging, jara, death, marana, and moreover, the arising of grief, soka, lamentation, parideva, pain, dukkha, unhappiness, domanassa, and despair, upayasa. In this way, there occurs this mass of dukkha, suffering. Okay, so this is the forward. This is the patiloma. This is talking more on cessation. With no cause, there's no effect. So we call it patiloma. So this is a Pali. So we recite together. Avijayatva asesa viraga niroda sankhara nirodo sankhara niroda vijnana nirodo vijnana niroda namarupa nirodo namarupa niroda salayatana nirodo salayatana niroda passa nirodo Passa niroda, vedana nirodo, vedana niroda, tanha nirodo, tanha niroda, upadana nirodo, upadana niroda, bhava nirodo, bhava niroda, jati nirodo, jati niroda, jara, maranam, Sokha paridewa dukkha domana supayasa nirujanti. Ewa metasa kewalasa dukkha khandasa nirodo hoti. Okay, now the English. So we recite also the English. Through the entire cessation of ignorance cease sankhara. To the cessation of sankhara, consciousness ceases. To the cessation of consciousness, mentality, materiality ceases. To the cessation of mentality, materiality, the sixfold base ceases. To the cessation of the sixfold base, contact ceases. To the cessation of contact, feeling ceases. To the cessation of feeling, craving ceases. To the cessation of craving, clinging ceases. To the cessation of clinging, becoming ceases. To the cessation of becoming, birth ceases. To the cessation of birth, cease aging, death, sorrow, lamentation, pain, grief, and despair. Thus does this whole mass of suffering cease. Okay, so when we learning the dependent origination, these are the normal two chanting we always recite. In the place I reside, decided, I stayed there for about four years, a meditation center. So we recite this on every Wednesday. So now the question is, how do we going to contemplate this one? In the sutta, actually, this is like what we see in the sutta. All right. Okay, that's one way we just recite again and contemplate the meaning. That's one way. Another way is, I think most of you are familiar with the kind of charts. So it's a little bit blur. Because this chart is done many years ago, so I don't have really original copy, so it's screenshot. Another way is what we see is try to see in terms of diagram, right? In terms of diagram may be easier because we can see the ignorance here and we can see the craving and clinging, how they link in terms of defilement. Okay. So like what we say just now, one way is we go one way like avijja to sankhara. Like just now we recite one after another. Avijja is the cause, sankhara is the effect, and then consciousness, mind, matter. So one is a cause, one is the effect. That's one way. Another way we try to see is their relationship. For example, ignorance, craving, and upadana, clinging. So these three are considered as defilements. So in meditation or in any time, Your job is to reduce or terminate the avijja and craving and clinging. Okay, so these three are considered the main defilements. So we should reduce as much as possible. So another way is we should also be aware of sankhara, because any sankhara, whether good or bad, even good sankhara, like people do good, they also wish to become human. They do good, they also want to be born as a deity. So any sankhara will create these rounds or rebirth. Right? Except the arahant. Arahant, because of they already finish all the karma. So what they do is just a kriya. So the green color means will cause the round or rebirth, the sankhara and bhava. So that's one way to see it, right? Now, so we have the avijja, we have due to ignorance, there's a formation. Due to formation, there's a past cause here, then present effect will be consciousness. Or normally we are talking about rebirth. So rebirth consciousness, then there will be mind matter. There's what we call as a human, right? So after mind matter, then the sixth sense space start to develop. So when the things contact, like eye see the form, ear hear the sound, and so on, due to the contact, there will be feeling. Due to feeling, then there will be craving. All right, then it will go one round again. What we should do is just in terms of meditation, what actually we are practicing all the time according to dependent origination, actually, even though all these appear one after another, right? Like consciousness appear first, mind matter appear later. Then after that, sixth sense space, there's a contact and feeling. But in reality, these are we call it five aggregates, or they are the vipaka, or they are just a nama rupa, mind matter. All right. So, but independent origination, they appear like one after another. What our job is, should try to we call it aware of any consciousness, aware of any mind matter, aware of the sixth sense base or contact as much as possible, especially the feeling. Because due to the feeling, and if what we perceive something as a good object, like the sight you see, the sound you hear, that will lead to good feeling. Due to good feeling, then the craving will appear. All right. Sometimes, even though it's a bad feeling, craving will also appear. Why? Because sometimes when the bad feeling comes, then the mind does not want the bad feeling. The mind wants good feeling. So still, any feeling normally will lead to craving. So after craving, there will be clinging and so on. Okay. So our job in dependent origination is to stay at this, we call it the column number 2, right? To be aware as much as possible our actually what we call it here is 5 aggregates. Because when we learn the Four Noble Truths, actually what we see in dependent origination, so the number 2 here, vipaka, the result, this is actually 5 aggregates. Okay. So what you can see here, this part is also quite 5 aggregates, but this is talking about future times. Birth, aging, sickness. Actually, we are somewhere, we are here also, we are number 2 also, we are also number 4. Theoretically, it's like talking about something is a present effect, sometimes it's a future effect. But actually, in reality, there are 5 aggregates. So 5 aggregates of birth and then their aging, sickness. But what we should do is try to be meditating of all the consciousness that arise, of all the mind matter, or all the sixth sense space, all the contact and feeling. So we can escape. You can see that there's a one arrow here. All right. So I can escape from here. So not to go one round again. Okay. So that's how we should meditate here. Now, like just now mentioned, for those who just join in, when you study the dependent origination, the main thing is because when we study dependent origin, the first thing we should learn is avijja. Okay, avijja, ignorance. Now, in avijja, there are many types of avijja. There are avijja on the unknown on the past, unknown on the future, unknown of the Four Noble Truths, unknown of karma, right? But the main avijja here is talking about we do not know, especially on the feeling, we call it the personality belief. Because once people don't understand about personality belief, they will be forever go round and round. Personality belief means that they take the five aggregates of mind matter as I and mine. Okay. Now, okay, so that is a talking about in terms of chart. Now, in terms of recitation here, now here, when we study the Pali, like Avijja Pachaya, I think most of you study Pali, right? Yeah, with me. Now, Avijja Pachaya Sankhara. Now, this Pachaya, we call it condition. Avijja is ignorance, condition is a Pachaya. Now, this is a ablative, is a, we call it, this ability is not from, it's talking about the cause. So that's why we translate because or due to avijja. Because or due to ignorance, there is a sankhara formation will appear, right? So avijja is the main cause here. And so this is the cause and sankhara is the effect. So this is the cause, effect, right? So when we study the Buddha's teaching, all the Buddha's teaching, if we sum up, it's only two things, cause and effect. Four Noble Truths, we sum up also cause and effect. Dependent origination, if you sum up, it's also cause and effect. So all these are like, I think nobody want the aging, sorrow, lamentation, and so on. So if you don't want this, then you have to go. Why somebody have this aging, sorrow, and lamentation? So all this because of birth. Okay, because of birth. And birth is because of bhava, condition, life existence. And then bhava because of clinging. Clinging because of craving. Okay, craving because of feeling. Feeling comes because of contact. Contacts come because there's a six sense basis. Six sense basis because they are mind matter. After that, you got the rebirth consciousness, and then rebirth consciousness because of this formation. So if we trace back from the effect that we do not want, there is a grief, lamentation, aging, and death. I think all of us are in the middle age, so we can feel the body having so much problem. We can find there's a aging here, then there's a when you have to separate from your loved one, there's a sorrow lamentation. So if we don't want this again, all this again, we have to go back to the main cause. The main cause is ignorance. Okay, so that's one way to see dependent origination is in terms of cause and effect. So if you don't want all this, you have to start from avijja. Now, avijja is a big word. There are many things under avijja. Okay, so the main thing is when we sum up like in this chart, we can just see there are two columns here. Okay, the number two is talking about the five aggregates. Number four also five aggregates. So avijja is do not know the five aggregates. That's why it go rounds and rounds. So we have to tackle avijja. Since avijja is the rounds, is inside the rounds of defilement. So we should tackle this one first. Another one we should tackle that and anytime is craving. Due to craving, they will clinging. Now, avijja is a big one, so we can talk later. Now, craving, how should we deal with craving is through, like we practice vipassana, is at any time when things appear in our sixth sense base, we should aware that it will lead to craving when it is an object that we perceive as good, as lovely. Okay, so for example, we eat a food. When you eat a food, it's very impossible for you to see all nasi lemak, char kway teow, all these are considered as bad food, even though it might be bad food because like nasi lemak, char kway teow, all these are very oily. But we still see it as good because it tastes good. All right. So anytime, especially when you go for long terms, uh, that kind of intensive vipassana practice. So you have to be aware how things appear in your six sense bases. How you should aware is just keep on the mindfulness on the object come in. Like when you see something, you're aware of the sight. When you hear something, you're aware of the sound. When you smell something, aware of the knowing here. When you taste something, aware of the taste. When the hot and cold touch the body, aware of the sensation here. So you should aware of everything that come in. So this is more practical because if we are talking about how should we practice, we cannot practice at all the time at meditation center, like unless you are staying. Okay. So how to practice? Right. So first one is aware of cause and effect. Right. That's one thing. Second one is okay to reduce craving. So you need to aware of six sense objects and base. This more logic, because it is something that we can practice anywhere, any place, anytime. Okay. So this one thing. So this is the reduce the craving. Because once you have no craving, there will be no clinging. If you have no clinging, there's no bhava and so on. Now, another thing is like say, reduce ignorance. Avijja. How should you reduce it? Okay. Now, opposite of avijja. Okay. Now, it's good to ask you all. We stop do some Q&A. Okay. So, anybody know what is opposite of avijja? Opposite of ignorance? Anyone?
Saji, can we say wisdom?
Yes. Okay. What kind of wisdom?
Mm.
Wisdom is also a big word, right? Like avijja is a big word. So there are many types of avijja, there are many types of wisdom. So what kind of wisdom?
Knowing the four noble truth. All
Okay.
this.
All right. So okay. Besides Four
You
Noble Truth, how about other student? Okay, so you reduce by wisdom. Okay. Now what kind of wisdom that do you need? That's a thing. Okay. Other student, what do you think? Yes, I make it open here so you all also learn something. Any other student, please say something.
The Eightfold Path.
Okay, Four Noble Truth and Eightfold Path. Okay.
Karma.
Karma. Okay, karma. Yes. What else? That's all? Okay. Now we are talking about karma. Karma is also cause and effect, right? So how many cause and effect we have? Right. So actually we are talking about cause and effect. There are a few types. One is karma. Karma is cause and effect on sentient being, right? So cause and effect on sentient being. So we call it karma. So another cause and effect is refer to vipassana. That is how you see things, how things appear. Like just now, the sound, the sight, and then it creates the consciousness and so on. So this is cause and effect on vipassana that we can practice. Because on sentient being, we still cling to the idea of a self, a being, right? So this is the one. So this cause and effect you can see should see momentary cause and effect means that you should see anytime, like intention to walk, uh, intention to walk, then there's walking. Intention to drink, there's a drinking. Intention to turn, there's a turning. So you can practice vipassana anytime. Now, so on session B is karma, like somebody give donation, then somebody become rich, that kind of things about karma, right? So if we want to reduce ignorance, we should practice more wisdom on understand the Four Noble Truths, Noble Eightfold Path. Okay. And then also understand on the cause and effect. Okay. What else? Right? So if you want to reduce the ignorance, you need to increase your wisdom. What kind of wisdom do we still need? This is important, all right? If you go to meditation center and then you practice, you walk and sit, but if you come back after meditation center, you don't feel there's no much difference in terms of how you perceive things. This means that your wisdom is not developing there. So what kind of wisdom that you really need? Vera, try.
Seeing things rising and falling, rising, stay.
Anicca dukkha anatta.
No. First, I
Uh,
want to say is
uh,
the three characteristics.
three
Three
characteristic,
also
all
three
right.
characteristics. Anicca, dukkha,
Okay,
anatta,
okay.
and the
Yes.
rising and passing away
Okay.
of
Okay.
phenomena.
General characteristic. The three general characteristics require anicca, dukkha, anatta is also under vipassana. Okay. When we say arising, passing away is also under anicca. Okay. This this is under vipassana also. Right. So it's actually under vipassana. So when we say arising, passing away is under anicca. So you can just put things under the anicca. Okay. Now, that's also a very important thing we need to do.
Non-self.
Yes. Okay. Now, non-self. So now, even though we are under this vipassana, but we can put it separately. So that is to do with uh paramatta, dhamma, and then the panyati. So you need to know what is we call it ultimate dhamma, ultimate truth. Another one, what is concept. Okay, so this is very important because to reduce the avijja here. Now, ultimate truth will be like, for example, you say mind matter. So the concept will be this self, I, being. All right. So of course we can put it under the anatta, but we put it separately because we need to contrast between this panyati and then this paramatta dhamma. Panyati, sometimes we call it the word conventional truth. That is why learning Abhidhamma is helpful for us to know what is considered as concept, what is considered ultimate truth. So all these are for us to increase our wisdom, to reduce the ignorance. Okay? You all get it right so far? Now, because if we actually, as I mentioned before, I think some of you know, right? Now, most people, like we say, there are many different types of meditation in Myanmar. Like some are more on vipassana, some are more like samatha, like Pa'ao. Okay, means they start with the samatha. Some here they call it mogok. Mogok means they do the dependent origination because here they find it is important because if our mind has a lot of ignorance, no matter you try to practice vipassana or samatha, it will be slow. The knowledge arise will be slow if it's covered by the ignorance. So that's why this Mogul Center they stress more on really talking about this self concept or atta. Like I've been to one teacher. He's supposed to be very famous. He always asks this question. I think you also try the answer. Is there tiger in the city? Right. 对吧？加添嘛，喂，没有添嘛，加序啦，好啦。Oh, okay, okay. Is there a tiger in the forest? Okay.
Forest.
Yeah. So for this kind of question, how will you answer? Yes or no? Anybody? Or is there forest or in a city? So if you answer yes, you say there's a tiger in the forest, you still cling to the concept. All right. If you say no, tiger is in the forest, not in the city, your answer still cling to the concept. Why? Because first, in a ultimate sense, ultimate truth, there is no tiger. There is no forest. Okay. Also no city. Now, do you get this statement?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, when we say tiger, what is tiger? Tiger is my matter, right? Now, when we say forest, what is forest? I mean, when you point to the forest, what is actually forest? Forest is, what's the meaning of forest? Forest means a group of trees, right? Or there are many, many trees in a place, then you designated, say, this is a forest. All these are concepts appear in our mind. So when you go to the so-called forest, you don't see the word forest, you only see many trees. Okay, now even the trees is a concept. Now, what is tree? Okay, now what is tree? You got the what? Branch. What else?
Leaves.
Okay, branch, leaves, trunk, then the root,
The roots.
yeah. So if you go and analyze it, so all these are just matter. Okay. Yeah. So for example, the tree, when you cut it, like today, we have the big tree here, it's sliding down. So we ask some of the young monks come and help us. They cut until the tree, because it's 45 degrees, it's dangerous, right? When the wind blow, it will fall down. So we cut until only the trunk left. All the leaves, all the branch, no. Then we don't see the trees anymore. What we see is only trunk, right? So the trees already disappear in our mind. Because, so for example, when we cut off the tree, so where is the tree? Then you say, there is no tree, right? But actually, in the first place, the tree is not there. But because it put in a certain place, the tree, the branch, the leaf, then your mind say, there's a tree. All right? So also when we say the chair, what is chair? What is table? Now if we say the idea, we call it the concept of table. What is table? You need to have 4 pieces of same wood, and then plus the what you call it, how you call it, how you call it, a piece of maybe a square one on the top, right? How you call it? I
Blank.
forget. Plank, yeah. Plank wood.
NK.
Hmm? NK. Oh, okay.
PLANK.
Okay. PINK, right? Yeah. Yeah.
No,
So
no I.
no I. Okay. NK. Right. So when you have these 4, you put together, then in your mind, there's a table. So when you take out this plank together, take out the plank, then you only leave 4 pieces. When you leave the 4 pieces of woods, you don't call it table. The concept of table totally disappear in your mind. All right. So that's a very important for us to tackle this ignorance. If you want to reduce the ignorance, you need to see very clearly what is ultimate truth, what is concept. Due to this concept of this self and I, that's why we get angry. Due to this self and I, that's why we get attachment. When you attachment to somebody, your son, your daughter, your family members, they are also mind and matter. They're also mind and matter. But when they pass away, you feel sad because you're attached to them as a person. This person is with me. This person has passed away. I miss this person, right? So we actually our sorrow lamentation come because of the clinging to the concept. So if we see mind matter, then we reduce our sorrow because we reduce our attachment. When there's attachment, there will be sorrow. If there's no attachment, there will be no sorrow. So for example, if you don't know anybody in like Afghanistan, even Afghanistan might happen something, but you will not feel so much because Afghanistan is very far from us. But if you know somebody personally in Afghanistan and then something happened there, you feel very sad. Okay. Like nowadays in Hong Kong and then the Hajj, all this. So it's very important for us to reduce our ignorance by getting as much as wisdom as we can. This is very important. Okay, so this one way to practice dependent origination to reduce the ignorance. Another way is reduce the craving by aware of six sense dose, six sense base. Because once you reduce the craving, then the clinging will automatically reduce. And these three, avijja, ignorance, craving, and clinging. This one is we call it the rounds of defilements. Okay. Now when we say studying this dependent origination, we have these rounds of defilement, the red color one. There's one round here because of defilements. Then there's another round. We call it the karma. There will be karma, bhava, sankhara. So this is round of karma. Because of rounds of defilement, then the rounds of karma will take place. So after the rounds of karma, then the rounds of vipaka result. There's a five aggregates or namarupa will take place. So in dependent origination, we say that our life is, this samsara is created by three rounds. Defilement, linked to karma. Karma create the vipaka. Then after that, start the defilement, karma, and vipaka result. So these three go round and round. So that's how we see. Another way is to say like, try to see is avijja and craving the main. This is a dependent origination. When somebody draw this chart, right, very wonderful. It's like the wheel, when the wheel, the center part, the hub is the main one. Once the avijja, ignorance and craving already stopped or destroyed, then the whole wheel, because of no hub in the middle, so the whole wheel will collapse by itself. So if we just stop at the avijja and craving, so we don't need to continue the rounds of samsara. Okay. So we need to tackle avijja as much as possible because due to avijja, the craving, clinging is there. So if there's no avijja, no ignorance, so these are not important anymore. Okay. So that is why when we listen to Dhamma talk, why do we listen it all the time? Because to reduce the ignorance and to increase the wisdom. And why do we practice vipassana? It's also same thing. To reduce the ignorance, to increase the wisdom. There are many types like I mentioned just now, Four Noble Truths, karma, cause and effect. Cause and effect also including karma because karma is the cause and effect of sentient being. And also vipassana, when you want to walk, want to eat, want to go to toilet, try to see the momentary cause and effect moment to moment. And then finally, because you see everything moment to moment, like one sound, one sight, one intention, one walking, one stepping, one abdomen rising, falling, then you see anicca, dukkha, anatta. Because everything is transient, that will lead to suffering and then lead to a non-self. But finally, we still need to know what is Paramatta Dhamma, what is ultimate truth, what is concept. Okay, so and different center like mentioned earlier on, some will emphasize whether want to practice Vipassana first, like Mahasi, method with Vipassana first. Some or practice Samatha first, like Pa'ao. Some like in Myanmar, Mogok, they practice on dependent origination, try to reduce the avijja, ignorance. So I met one teacher, he always asks this question. So whether your answer, you say yes or no, he always laugh. Because if you say the question, if there's a tiger in the forest, you say yes, that means that you cling to the concept of tiger. If you say no, but you still cling to the concept of tiger, because you say the tiger is not in the, they say the tiger is not in the forest, the tiger is in the is in the tiger is not in the city, the tiger in the forest. Ultimately, there's no forest, there's no city. So the best is don't answer. So sometimes that's why in some of the sutta, they ask the Buddha. There's a few monks they ask the Buddha, what is there soul after birth, after death? Okay, or is there not soul after death? If there's neither soul or no soul after that death, so the Buddha refused to answer to this kind of question because why? The question is not logic in the first place because there are no soul in Theravada Buddhism. So the Buddha refused to answer, is there a soul after that or no soul after that or whatever? Okay. All right. I think today is just a short sharing because this is a meditation class. So we will do our own practice. I think you all can practice by yourself, right?